Good afternoon and good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and coffee stream number 206. And I'm glad to be back after yesterday's canceled stream. I am feeling much better today. I had a really bad headache yesterday, and Alex didn't have camp, so I just wanted to spend some time with him and get my headache under control. So today I am back and I'm feeling much better. I don't have a guest. I do not have a guest today. However, oh no, fuck me. I just read that message. I just got a message from Hangouts. Looks like I better learn OBS in a week and a fucking half, because Hangouts is going away August 1st. Fuck. Well then. That's a great way to start my stream. um, okay. So, today's the 19th of July. So, in 14 days, because 19th to the 29th is 10, 10 days. And then we've got the 30th, the 31st, and the 1st. So 13 days. Hangouts goes away in 13 days. Wow. Okay. Sorry, guys. This has kind of thrown me for a loop. Let's say hi to chat. Silly Noob is here. Hello. The next 6 minutes is here. Hi. Who else is here? Irate Prostate. Hello. Pincalo says we'll figure it out. Relax. Yeah, I know. It's just really freaking aggravating. Gunfox here is here. Golf City Fright Supremacist is also here. Hello, good to see you. Rolling Bear, hi, nice to have you around. Skeptalk also. Hello. And I just need to check Streamlabs. Thank you very much for the donation I just received. I'm going to jump over to Safari and jump in here to a tab. And why did I just create a new tab when one was open for me? Wow, okay. Blind Press has apparently been thrown for a loop. Okay. All right, log in with YouTube. All right. Come along, go faster. There we go. All right. We have a donation from Captain Weeb. Thank you very much for the $1 donation. Hey, Blind Press, just wanted to send some love and wish you well. Sorry it isn't a lot, but thank you for being such a kind and amazing person. Oh, thanks, dude. Don't worry about the amount. Anything is appreciated, and you know what? I appreciate that you enjoy my streams so much. It's always appreciated, and that's awesome. Thank you so much, dude. Let's see. Has anyone else joined us while I've been doing that. Let's see. You're having your tea Irish style. Maniac Man, hello. Let's see, next 6 minutes. It's good tea, says next 6 minutes. And he says, Barry's Gold Blend. Ah, nice to see you this morning. Awesome to see you too, Skep. Glad you're here to join us. So, Pincalo has sent me a lot of stories. Gunfox has a lot of stories, and I have found a couple of stories. So, holy moly, do we have an overabundance of things to talk about today. um, it's gonna be an interesting stream. Um, it's it's gonna be great. So let's jump into this into the wonderfulness that is this wonderful news. So let's jump here into Twitter. I've got two stories here that are disability related, actually, that I sent myself. So we're gonna jump into those really quick, and then we're gonna read the articles from Pincalo, two of which are titular articles. So we'll get to those in a little bit. Okay. Oh, good. Now I log into Twitter and I get a message that Twitter is changing too. Yay, things are changing. Good, good. I'm losing Hangouts and Twitter is changing. How wonderful. That makes me super happy. Okay. All right, here's the DM list with myself. All right. So first we're going to we're going to look at this article, which is what it's like to be a disabled parent in an inaccessible world. This is from Rewired News. Let's see here. Blind should do a 5-hour live stream to catch up. Oh, I should. I really should. Maybe I'll do maybe you know what? Maybe for my birthday stream I'll do like 2.5 hours of news and then switch over like kill the hangout and then switch to gaming or something. That might be a thing that I do. Okay, let's see. Get our evidence-based journalism direct to your inbox. Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing. Oh, that makes me laugh. Okay. What it's like to be a disabled parent in an inaccessible world. This is from last month, but it's still an interesting read. It's from June 4th of this year. So this is the byline is as disabled parents told RealWire News, discrimination and inaccessibility can go beyond explicit ADA violations. So this is obviously written in the US. So let's get to the body of this article. All right.
Heather Watkins' daughter is now 25, but the disability rights advocate still remembers the problems she faced picking her up from preschool 2 decades ago.
Okay.
The entrance had a few stairs. Watkins, who has a congenital form of muscular dystrophy that affects her mobility, recalled via email. When enrolling her, they initially seemed manageable, but after a long day of work, I hadn't quite factored how much of a chore they'd become.
So that was on you.
So, I started calling ahead to sign her out and have someone bring her out to the car, Watkins said. Well, the looks and side eyes I caught from non-disabled parents judging me lazy and entitled were unbelievable.
So you just got looks from parents. Big deal. They're stupid. Who fucking cares? The daycare complied with you, right? That doesn't make it like you're your complaint is parents looked weirdly at you because the daycare brought your kid out to you because you have a muscular like a congenital muscular problem. When? Like, if the daycare didn't comply, then I could understand your issue. But so what? Parents who don't get it, we're looking at you weird. Grow a thicker skin.
Watkins continued to experience accessibility barriers as her daughter got older and played sports and danced in recitals. Some of the venues weren't always accessible, and this was so anxiety-producing since there were times I had to miss out or the view was obstructed in some way, she said, noting that access to bathrooms in such venues also caused her anxiety about drinking too much liquid.
Okay, but you've just said that your daughter is now grown up and these things were a couple of decades ago when the ADA was just put in place and things were still being established. So, yeah, it sucks that you had to be among the people that lived with the growing pains of the establishment of the ADA, but at least there was progress being made. And like, yeah, sometimes, you know what? It sucks. Like, I'm going to have to miss out on some things. But I'm lucky enough that I had kids with a sighted person who can go and be a part of everything. And I'm not going to miss out on everything that my kids do. But like, it's all about balance. You can't just sit there and moan and focus on the negative. That's what kind of example are you setting for your kids at that point? Oh, hello, Milkman Dan. This article needs Material Girl by Madonna as background music. Yeah, you're not wrong. If midgets can do it, so can they. Yeah, you know what? That's not a bad point. I found one and Cog found one that will just make you lose your minds. Oh god. Oh no. I'm scared. This article is short-sighted. Cryptic.
Heading level 3. Get the facts. Want more in Wire?
Oh, let's skip through this this advertisement. Okay, here we go.
Parenting is hard work, but for parents with disabilities, the challenges can feel insurmountable, not because of the parent's disability itself, but because they are raising children in a society not built for them.
Yes, okay, no, society is not built for the disabled because in general, in evolutionary survival terms, you don't want a society of disabled people. I'm sorry, it just won't function properly. You need able-bodied people to be the majority to have society function properly, to be able to take care of the disabled and give them the proper rights that they deserve. You need what? Of course it's not built for you. But the fact is, it is very much it is being made accessible. Absolutely, it is being made accessible. If you are lucky enough to be disabled in a Western country, you really, like, the things that you have to worry about are much higher up on the closer to the want spectrum than they are on the need spectrum. And this is coming from someone who is disabled. And am I going to sit here and say that there aren't challenges in being a disabled parent in as you know, especially right now with, in my example, being the transit system and the way it changed right now? It's not very accessible. But am I going to just sit at home and whine about it? No. I'm going to learn it, and I'm going to learn the safest way to use it so that I can still travel around my city and, like, pick up my kids from daycare. Like, was it built for, blind people? No. Was it built properly for able-bodied people? Not really. No. Yeah, and Pinkolo's got a good point. In a normal family, both parents do not go to every single event. That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true.
Watkins knew she wasn't going to be the parent doing too much running and jumping, all the rough and tumble aspects, because I couldn't, she said. I had to really create this bond and emotional connection through lots of age, appropriate communication and awareness.
Yeah. So,
Throughout the last century, the link eugenics movement led to the involuntary sterilization of countless disabled women and others deemed unfit to procreate.
okay, an unfortunate truth. Is it happening right now in the United States?
Such a mentality still endures today in the form of discriminatory policies that discourage or deny the right of parenthood to disabled people. Still, disabled people are increasingly choosing to become parents, although prevalence estimates vary. Recent research indicates there are between 2.9 million and 4.1 million disabled parents in the United States.
That is a very small number. So, you know what? Yes, there has been uh sterilization of disabled women. That's absolutely a thing that used to happen. Um and the numbers show, like, and if I've have a few parents in a few blind parenting groups that I'm in that adopted children, and they had to jump through several more hoops than a normal couple would have. But honestly, if you are in charge of a child that has been put up for adoption, and those children generally come with some issues, your blindness might factor into it. You know, it depends on the mentality of the child you get. It depends on the age of the child that you intend to adopt. Like, if you intend to start from newborn or if you intend to go for older kids, like, it very well may matter in the child's safety about your blindness because of the special issues that most adopted children unfortunately come with. It sucks, but it's an unfortunate reality. they have to be, unfortunately, a bit more rigorous because the state is, those are wards of the state. They're responsible for those kids until they've placed them with parents that they have to deem responsible. So I'm sorry, but if you have a disability, the state is going to make double sure, triple sure that you are going to be capable of keeping those kids safe and healthy. And I think that is allowed. Now, is there are there still stories of people being summarily dismissed because of their disability by adoption agencies? Yeah. Is that right? No. Is are there changes and improvements to be made? Absolutely. But to sit here and complain about such small things and then say the ADA is to blame is a little disingenuous.
The Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA, passed nearly 30 years ago to guarantee people with disabilities access to employment, government agencies, and places of public accommodations, such as restaurants, hotels, schools, and parks. Nonetheless, link. ADA violations are still common. Congress has made repeated attempts to link. Weaken the ADA? Period.
How has Congress made attempts to weaken the ADA? I might check that link out.
As disabled parents told Rewire News, discrimination and inaccessibility can go beyond explicit ADA violations.
Okay. That's why you work on those by being level-headed, rational advocates instead of reeing like insane people, coming up with things like the hashtag cryptax and lying about able-bodied people.
When Nicole, who asked that Rewire News not use her last name, planned a family trip to Disney World last fall, she and her husband were shocked to learn about Disney's link policy that she interpreted as a ban on children from riding on the laps of people using mobility scooters or wheelchairs. Wheeled mobility devices should be single rider. While her husband attended a work conference, Nicole, who has cerebral palsy and uses a wheelchair or a scooter for mobility, intended to bring her then 2-year-old daughter to the parks.
Okay, first of all, why would you bring a 2-year-old to Disney World? What the hell are they going to do at Disney World? They're going to be too short to ride any rides. What?
Since the day she left the hospital, my daughter has ridden on my lap. This is her normal, what she knows, what is safe for both of us. This is how I plan to get around the Disney parks for the 2 days her dad would not be with us, Nicole said via email. I'm highly safety-minded when I'm with my daughter.
Okay.
Nicole went anyway, not wanting her daughter to miss out. In this situation, I had no other choice but for my daughter to ride on my lap, Nicole said. She's too young to walk safely beside me in crowds, and I cannot push a stroller from a scooter. I decided to put on my advocacy hat and conquer Disney as both an exhausted parent and as someone who may have to assert her rights.
Okay. First of all, when you say you didn't want your daughter to miss out, you mean you didn't want you to miss out. Your daughter's 2. Why would you? I don't understand taking any toddler to any amusement park. They're not going to be able to ride even the kiddie rides. I don't get it. Why? Especially if you don't have any older children. No, you shouldn't have a child on your lap while you're on a mobility scooter. That's just dangerous. Yeah, I know several. I've heard of several um moms who ride in wheelchairs who wear their babies in baby backpacks like the one that I have because it is dangerous to keep the child just held on your lap, especially if you've got something like cerebral palsy or a muscular issue. you're going to want that kid strapped to you. You don't want to just hold them, especially if you're in a crowded place. That's not safe at all. That's incredibly dangerous.
Notably, Nicole would probably have been prohibited from using a link stroller that attaches to her wheelchair, like many parents who are wheelchair users utilize, as Disney's link policy also bans objects pushed, pulled, or towed by a scooter or wheelchair.
Yes, because there are hundreds of thousands of people there, and it is a tripping hazard. They're not saying that disabled people are in the way. They're just saying that you have to be mindful of yourself and everyone around you and keep yourself and your kid and everyone around you safe. You know what it says in those manuals for those scooters, says Pincalo? Single riders only. Yeah. My dad used to ski with me in a backpack. Yeah. So let's see.
Nicole didn't experience many problems relating to carrying her daughter on her lap. Very few cast members approached us about her riding on my scooter, and those that did seemed to understand. Those that didn't, well, we just kept moving. I also made an effort to avoid prolonged interactions with cast members because of this policy, she said.
So, what's your complaint? You didn't get any blowback. Why are you bitching? Look, a nothing burger.
Nonetheless, Nicole is concerned about how Disney's policies affected her family's vacation. Each morning I stressed to her that it was very important to ride safely with Mama and to practice calm behavior. She should have had the freedom to be a wild kid at Disney, but this is my daughter's normal, and she rose to the challenge, too. The anticipation and the experience did create a lot of undue stress.
Okay, yeah, because she's toddler, and crowds probably don't do well with they don't do well with crowds. Toddlers and crowds just don't work. And also, no, you shouldn't have freedom to run around and be a wild kid anywhere in an amusement park. You stay with your frickin' parents so that you don't get lost. Whether your parents are able-bodied or not, you stick together for like safety reasons. And she's 2. Like, you caused this stress, not Disney's policies. You did. There are plenty of things to do for younger kids that aren't Disney. But you needed to go to Disneyland. You didn't want to miss out. You caused the undue stress. Not Disney's policies.
Because of the mobility device policy and link other policy changes, I would be very unlikely to return in the future. For us, the happiest place on earth no longer lives up to that moniker, Nicole continued.
But nothing happened to you. What the
Disney did not respond to emailed questions about the policy.
What policy? Which policy? The policy. That is so vague.
Holly Bonner, the mother of a 4 and 6-year-old, says her biggest challenge is the school system. Bonner, a social worker and blogger of blind motherhood, lost her eyesight 7 years ago after battling breast cancer.
Yeah, I've read some of her stuff. She's slightly hysterical.
Communicating with teachers and administrators about my children is frustrating, Bonner said. She relies on her computer and other technology to read documents. As such, she needs everything available digitally. Large class sizes make scanning or emailing parents individually less than desirable for educators. But without it, I do not know what is going on inside the classroom, Bonner continued.
Yes, and most schools are now switching over to Google Classroom. So it's a matter of time before yours does too, because you're Canadian, Holly. So I don't know what you're bitching about.
To ensure that she can fully participate in her children's educational experiences, Bonner has had to advocate for herself and her children. I lay everything out in black and white for the schools, but I make it absolutely clear if I don't get what I need under the ADA, I will absolutely take it to a higher authority.
Oh shit, she's not Canadian. But anyway, I've followed her. I thought she was Canadian. Um, Weird. Anyway, but you're supposed to advocate for yourself as a disabled parent. You can't just it's it sucks. It's a necessary evil, but you know what? If you don't advocate for yourself, you're just going to sit there and nothing's going to get done for you. I have to do that with Alex's school. And like they use online stuff and it's almost accessible. They're working on it. But you know, as the kids get older, they do use Google Classroom. So that'll that will help me. It's of course you have to advocate. Ugh.
Ableism also rears its head in more subtle ways.
Oh, here we go.
Dealing with other parents has been equally frustrating, Bonner said. Most don't know how to address my presence in the schoolyard with their own kids, so they would rather ignore me altogether. Sadly, this often negatively impacts my children, who are left to answer questions about my disability to their peers.
Well, that sucks. Maybe you should ask the school if you can do a talk about your blindness for the school, for the peers, and for the parents. If that's a big issue for you, why don't you do that? Oh, wait, because that would, require work. Why are these people saying if it's not absolutely perfect, all of a sudden it's discrimination? I don't know. I really don't know. It's very disgusting.
Able-bodied people are always watching. I mean that for real. It's not perceived, Nicole said. When we are out in the world, I feel like I'm on display. Sometimes people watch in awe because they have no idea how I could possibly parent from a wheelchair. Sometimes they are complimentary. Sometimes they swoop in and try to help when help is not needed or wanted, and that is jarring and makes me feel less safe.
Oh, it's annoying, but it's not. Sometimes it can be unsafe the way that people try and help, but it's not able. Jesus Christ. Why? People don't understand the way that they speak is very important, I think. Because the more that they start calling this ableism and discrimination when people are trying to help them, the less people are going to want to help them. And then the more they're going to find actual ableism and actual discrimination that they have caused. Hello, Master Rukin.
I'm constantly trying to normalize our experience to able people, she said. They don't understand that this is our everyday normal. I wish people could look at me and assume competence.
Well, I'm sorry, but you're disabled. I'm disabled. You have to do that. It sucks, but you have to. Get over it. It's just part of life. When the bad stuff happens, then you advocate. But when the, kind-hearted people who compliment you are there, don't look at it as normalizing your everyday life. Look at it as a teachable moment for them. Don't shit on them. The fuck is wrong with you?
Unfortunately, the scrutiny disabled parents experience, especially parents of color, You were correct.
Oh, here we go.
Poor parents and LGBTQ parents can have detrimental consequences for families, according to the link National Council on Disability.
Wait, did it just say parents of color who are parents?
Poor link parents of color. Poor parents.
Oh, poor parents. Okay. Okay. That makes more sense.
NCD. Parents with disabilities and their children are overly and parent NCD. Parents with disabilities and their children are overly and often inappropriately referred to child welfare services and, once involved, are permanently separated at disproportionately high rates. NCD notes that referrals often come from strangers, neighbors, family members, and social service providers, and are often the result of speculation rather than actual harm to children.
Okay, I'll give you that. There is a disproportionate amount of cases where that happens. However, you got to admit it's going down. I'm sorry, it is. It's going down. And you have to keep working at it. You can't just start you can't lump in all of the good, kind-hearted people who are actually trying to help you even if you don't need it with the people who are, you know, not so kind-hearted. And I'm sorry, but sometimes there are disabled people who shouldn't have kids. And not because they're disabled, because they're bad parents. And there have been stories where I know someone who lives in Idaho who does a lot of advocacy, and there was a couple who were abusing their baby. They were completely blind, and the Family and Children Services stepped in as they should, and the National Federation of the Blind made a huge stink, said that the Family and Children Services took the baby away because because the parents were blind, basically forced the Family and Children Services to return the baby, and the baby almost died afterwards because of the continued abuse. So, yeah, there are some disabled parents who downright just shouldn't have kids because they're shit human beings. And guess what? There are shitty disabled people, just like there are shitty able bodied people.
Parenting is challenging with or without a disability. However, parenting in an inaccessible world can make it even harder. Parenting is a journey, and disability adds another dimension. There is no instruction manual, and definitely no one-size-fits-all approach, Watkins said.
Well, that's a true statement. I thank God for one true statement in this article.
You have to find a customized approach that works for you and your family, ensures your safety, productivity, and peace of mind, and quality of life, she said. It may take some time and much effort, and that's okay.
Yeah, almost like a normal family has to do that. Isn't that amazing?
Heading level 3, topics and tags.
Oh, thank God that's over. God, Jesus Christ. That's ridiculous. So here's the next message I found, or the next story I found, and then we're going to jump over into Pincalo's messages. Blind man with guide dog denied service, arrested at Kamloops gas station. So Kamloops is in British Columbia. So way over on the west coast. So we're going to read this. All right, here we go. This is from CTV News.
A man who's blind was told his guide dog wasn't allowed inside a Kamloops gas station, and when RCMP arrived, he thought they would defend his rights, but instead, the officers put him in handcuffs.
See, let's read on. Let's find out why.
I was very shocked and appalled, said Ben Fulton. I was just really surprised at how quickly it spiraled out of control. The Toronto man was on a road trip to celebrate after graduating law school, but things took a turn when he made a pit stop at the Shell gas station on the Trans-Canada Highway around 11:30 p.m. on June 16th. FSK all Fulton can see is a gray blur since losing his all Fulton can see is a gray blur since losing his vision to a rare disorder called retinitis pigmentosa 2 years ago. He relies on his guide dog, Abby, to be his eyes.
So he had retinitis pigmentosa. So that's generally a congenital thing.
He said the gas station clerk was adamant his manager gave him strict instructions that pets were not allowed. He said when he tried to show the guide dog identification card and explain that Abby is not a pet, but rather a working dog, the clerk did not change his position.
Okay, well, see here, this right here is actual discrimination and actual ableism.
When I was showing him the card, he didn't want to look at the card. He didn't want to hear what I was saying about Abby being a guide dog. He didn't seem to understand the law, Fulton said. He asked me if I wanted him to call the cops. I responded by saying that I would love it if he called the cops. I was expecting them to show up and enforce the law.
Right.
Heading level 3. Heading level 3. Fulton handcuffed and put in police cruiser. Kamloops RCMP said they received a call about a man and woman who were yelling and threatening the clerk. When the officers attended at first, they noticed the man and woman. The dog was off to the side and behind them. They didn't even notice the dog. They were focused on the man and woman, said spokesperson Corporal Jody Shelkey.
Wait, what?
When the officers attended at first, they noticed the man and woman. The dog was off to the side and behind them. They didn't even notice the dog. They were focused on the man and woman, said.
Why would okay, if you have a guide dog, why are you not hanging onto the leash and harness? Regardless of whether or not the attendant says you can't bring that dog in here, I would be like, my hand would not be off that handle of that harness.
Shelkey said the two officers asked Fulton and his friend to step outside because there were other customers inside the store, and when they refused, Fulton was arrested.
Well, okay, why would you not leave the store? Why would you not step outside, explain to the police what was going on, and then go back in and get what you needed to get? Why would you refuse? Kamloops is where Avenue is from. Oh. Strangers, family members, or neighbors, so everyone basically, yeah.
The man and woman began yelling at them and the man was uncooperative. So to prevent continuation of the offense, the officers arrested the male and took him outside, she said.
Well, I'm sorry, but if that's, you know what? You were in the right, dude. You were in the right, and you mouthed off to the cops. What the hell is wrong with you? Why would you do that? You were in the right to. If you had calmed down and taken and gone outside and spoken to the RCMP and explained and showed the card, like if you had kept yourself calm and they had continued to deny you service, if the RCMP had gotten in on it, you realize you could have sued the store and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police? But no, you had to run your mouth and get handcuffs slapped on you. You freaking moron. Holy crap.
Fulton denied he was confrontational, maintaining that he was speaking calmly and he had simply wanted to show the officers his guide dog identification card.
Yeah, and if you had listened to them and stepped outside and done what they said and then showed them your card, you wouldn't have had handcuffs put on you. You freaking, oh my god, people from Toronto. What the hell is wrong with people from Toronto?
I was very calmly standing at the counter when they came in. I wasn't yelling. I wasn't saying anything, he said. The female officer asked me, why don't we go outside and talk about this? So I answered her question and I said, I don't want to go outside because I'm standing at the counter trying to get service.
Okay, but you're blocking other customers, and until the police can settle the situation, you need to listen to what they're doing. They weren't saying you can't get service at all. They're saying, let's go outside and talk about this, explain what's going on, and then we'll figure it out. But no, you had to flex your just freshly graduated from law school muscles and try and act like you knew what the fuck you were doing.
Soon after, the other officer stepped in and put him in handcuffs, and he was told he was being arrested for mischief.
Because you were causing mischief.
He said he was overcome with fear when they placed him in the back of the cruiser. Heading Level 3, Deficiency in RCMP Training. Kamloops RCMP defended the actions of the officers, saying protocols were followed.
Yeah, they were.
We have a lot of diversity training both for accessibility, cultural and racial situation, and we deal with these on an ongoing basis. In this situation, as soon as they found out he's blind, they removed him from handcuffs and he went on his way without charges. In this situation, the training very much worked, said Shalke.
Well, and even if they knew from the start he was blind, he wasn't complying with them. What's wrong? Toronto. Enough said. Yeah. Exactly. Did they cuff the dog? No, just the guy. The officer isn't asking if you want to go outside. They're telling you politely. Exactly. Haha, mischief? What a cute sounding crime.
Fulton believes the situation clearly demonstrates a lack in training because the officers were not able to recognize immediately that Abby is a guide dog.
Well, because you weren't holding on to the harness, you dumbass. The officers put in the report that the dog was off to one side behind you. Why is that? Why were you not holding on to her harness at all times? If she was working, why weren't you holding on to her?
I really think they should have known that I was blind just by seeing me by my guide dog. They should have known that she's a guide dog by the fact that she's wearing a harness. The fact that they weren't able to identify that shows a deficiency in their training, he said.
If she's out of sight, how can they tell that she's got a harness on? If she's not right by your side, but off behind you somewhere, how can they tell? That's why you always hold the harness when your dog is working. So that you can be identified as a blind person. And so that you and your dog can, work together. You dumbass.
The CEO of BC Guide Dogs believes the Mounties unnecessarily escalated the situation.
No, not really.
To put a person who has a guide dog in a police cruiser is just beyond my comprehension. I can't understand how that would be the first step taken by a police officer. It's atrocious, said Bill Thornton.
But it wasn't the first step. The first step was for them to say, hey, let's go outside and talk about this. And he went, no, I'm trying to get service. So they went, okay, fine, you smart ass. You're under arrest. Let's go. Come on outside. And then they, talked to him. They found out he couldn't, they found out he was blind and that was his guide dog. They probably let him out of the handcuffs with a, next time when a police officer asks you to do something, just do it. And went on, and he was let go on his way. Nothing wrong with that.
He said when Fulton offered the officers his guide dog identification card, they should have taken a look at it. We've had guide dogs and service dogs in Canada for such a long time. It's very disappointing to hear this type of event taking place.
What? So having a guide dog absolves you from criminal prosecution even if you deserve it? Is that what I'm hearing right now? If you have a guide dog, you should never be put in the back of a police car. Okay.
According to the BC Guide Dog and Service Dog Act, a guide and service dog is allowed to enter and use any place where the public is invited or has access to. A Shell Canada spokesperson said they are working to understand what happened in the situation. Sales associates are expected to treat all customers with care and respect. We have reached out to the independent retailer who operates this site, along with the local RCMP, to further understand this incident, said spokesperson Kristen Schmidt. To prevent a similar situation from happening to anyone else, Fulton is in the process of filing a complaint with the BC Human Rights Tribunal.
Of course he is.
It's the best venue for having human rights enforced in the province. It's important for me to not let this go unnoticed. for it to be swept under the rug, Fulton said.
Well, you know what, dude? It would have gone completely the other direction had
Video
you
player,
done
web
what you were
application.
supposed to do. You dumbass. Oh, there's a video. It's probably the the news report. Okay, let's find Pinkalo's messages here. Let's get to Pinkalo's messages here. There are Pinkalo's messages. Oh, this is the one from Gunfox yesterday. Vice. I think the Vice.com one is from Gunfox. So let's see here. Ex Microsoft. Oh. Ex Microsoft dev used test account to swipe $10 million in tech giant's own store credit. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, let's read about this. There's a mugshot here.
A former Microsoft software engineer was arrested on Tuesday and charged with mail fraud for allegedly attempting to steal $10 million in digital currency from his former employer, U.S. prosecutors said today.
Oh dear.
Volodymyr Kvashik, 25, a citizen of Ukraine residing in Renton, Washington, initially worked for Microsoft as a contractor and was hired as an employee in August 2016, where he remained employed until he was dismissed in June 2018. Kvashik, according to Link, the prosecution's complaint, PDF, filed in a U.S. federal district court in Seattle, was a member of Microsoft's Universal Store team, UST, tasked with handling the company's e-commerce operations.
Okay.
The UST is the main commercial engine of Microsoft with a mission to bring one universal store for all commerce at Microsoft. Link explained. Sam Guggenheimer, product owner for Azure DevOps at Microsoft, back in 2017, the UST encompasses everything Microsoft sells and everything others sell through the company, consumer and commercial, digital and physical, subscription and transaction, via all channels and storefronts.
Okay, so it's their basically their version of a store. Goatman, hello.
As described in the complaint, UST members set up dummy customer accounts with a Microsoft Online Store linked to specially created email addresses and test and production credit cards for making store purchases without generating an actual charge. Team members then whitelist their test accounts to bypass Microsoft's security and risk mitigation systems. Heading Level 3, no safeguards. But in designing its testing system, Microsoft overlooked a significant attack vector. The testing program was designed to block the delivery of physical goods, the complaint explains. Microsoft did not anticipate testers would make test purchases of digital currency, currency stored value or CSV, and thus no safeguards were put in place to prevent the delivery of CSV.
Oops. Well done, Microsoft. Way to go.
So a tester could make test purchases of Microsoft digital gift cards, obtaining a valid product key that could be redeemed to add value to a digital wallet associated with the purchaser's account. The electronic funds credited could then be used to buy digital or physical Microsoft products from its store.
Oh, wow.
Kvashik. Link. It's alleged. Bought some Microsoft goods himself and also sold much of the currency $10 million worth, it's claimed, to third parties, at a discount to its face value.
Jesus.
Link. Cards gift ghost bot scares up. This game supposedly began in 2017 and escalated to the point that Kvashik, on a base salary of $116,000 per year, bought himself a $162,000 Tesla and $1.6 meters home in Renton, Washington.
God damn, dude, you're already making $116,000 a year and you feel the need to steal 10 million more? Good Lord. That's just... Holy crap.
Kvashik, the complaint suggests, was undone by Microsoft's fraud investigation strike team, FIST, which noticed a suspicious increase in the use of CSV to buy subscriptions to Microsoft's Xbox gaming system in February 2018. The investigators traced the digital funds, which had been resold on 2 different websites, to 2 whitelisted test accounts. From there, FIST proceeded to trace the accounts and transactions involved. With the assistance of the U.S. Secret Service and the Internal Revenue Service, investigators concluded that Kvashik had defrauded Microsoft, despite efforts to conceal his identity with fake accounts and to hide public blockchain transactions using a Bitcoin mixing service.
I love how their strike team is called FIST.
In addition to service provider records that point to Kvashik, the complaint notes that Microsoft's online store uses a form of device fingerprinting called a fuzzy device ID. Investigators, it's claimed, linked a specific device identifier to accounts associated with Kvashik. Authorities have asked that Kvashik be detained, claiming that he may attempt to flee the country or obstruct justice. If convicted of mail fraud, the former Microsoft software engineer could face as much as 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. Registered sign.
Ouch.
Link. Tips and corrections.
Wow. Well done, dude. You just couldn't leave well enough alone, could you? Good Lord. All right, let's read about... Let's see. Let's find a good one. Here's one that will piss me off. Let's read this one. Okay. A judge cited a teen's good family in declining to charge him as an adult for rape. Now he's resigned. Oh, good. He should resign. And he should also disbar himself and give his law license away. Jesus. Okay, let's read about this piece of shit judge.
In 2016, a New Jersey judge asked a woman if she had attempted to close her legs to stop a sexual assault. 2 years later, another Garden State judge said a 16-year-old boy accused of sexual assault should not be tried as an adult because he came from a good family.
Okay.
When the comments came to light in recent months in judicial rulings, they sparked new national backlash over how the criminal justice system handles sexual assault cases. Now, neither of the judges who made those statements will be sitting on the bench. New Jersey's High Court has announced that, in addition to your new mandatory training for justices, the state has suspended the judge in the 2016 case, while the other judge has resigned. The Supreme Court of New Jersey said Wednesday that Judge James Troiano of Monmouth County, New Jersey, had resigned following weeks of protest over his good family rationale in declining to try a teen boy accused of rape as an adult. State Supreme Court Chief Justice Stuart Rabner wrote in a statement that Troiano's resignation was effective immediately.
Good.
Left bracket. Judge said a teen from a good family right bracket. That same day, Rabner recommended that Superior Court Judge John Russo Jr. of Ocean County, New Jersey, be removed from the bench months after local media first reported on his comments to a sexual assault victim about closing her legs. Russo has been suspended without pay from his job, which pays him $181,000 annually, according to Link, New Jersey. Period.
God damn, $180,000 a year.
Left bracket link. Right. Sexual assault is an act of violence. Rabner wrote, it terrorizes, degrades, and induces fear in victims, without question. It is a most serious matter in which fault lies solely with the perpetrator, not the victim, and our state has a strong interest in protecting victims of sexual assault and domestic violence. The Chief Justice added, every effort must be made not to re-victimize a victim. The Supreme Court's decisions were met with praise by state lawmakers, including New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, D., who said the discipline would uphold the reputation of our judiciary and ensure that all who seek justice are treated with dignity and respect. Your current...
Yeah. You don't... I don't care if the guy comes from a saintly family. If he raped somebody, he raped somebody. He needs to be tried. He got fisted. Let's see.
The New Jersey cases came to light as Americans have grappled with sexual assault cases where the young men are often seen to be favored over their female accusers. Other judges have also recently lost their gavels over such link controversial decisions. As in Stanford swimmer Brock Turner's 6-month sentence for sexually assaulting an unconscious woman. Russo, 57, link was questioning a woman in 2016 who was seeking a restraining order for the father of her 5-year-old daughter, the man who had sexually assaulted her, according to a transcript from a court advisory panel that was link released. In this spring, Russo asked, do you know how to stop somebody from having intercourse with you? You close your leg. In this spring, Russo asked, do you know how to stop somebody from having intercourse with you? You close your legs, call the police. Russo asked, did you do any of those things? Shortly afterward, Russo reportedly joked about the case with his staff. What did you think of it? Did you hear the sex stuff? He asked, according to the panel's report.
God damn, dude.
In April, a panel recommended that Russo be suspended for 3 months, adding that his behavior showed an emotional immaturity wholly unbefitting the judicial office and incompatible with the decorum expected of every jurist. On Wednesday, the state also announced that it had started proceedings to remove Russo from the bench for good. The Associated Press link reported that Russo has until next month to respond to the state Supreme Court's order and contest the removal order. You are currently... He has learned his lesson, said attorney Emilio Caralla, according to the link. As the Report Press, he will not do this again.
No, I'm sure he won't.
In 2018, Troy Ono, 69, was called in from retirement to hear the case of an alleged rape at a pajama theme party the previous year. Police said a 16-year-old boy, identified as GMC by court documents, filmed himself assaulting a link 16-year-old girl from behind. This came after the two teens, who prosecutors say were intoxicated, went off to a dark area, where a group of boys sprayed the girl with Febreze and hit her so hard she found hand marks the next day. According to court documents, GMC allegedly sent a video of the girl, who had slurred speech and stumbled, with the caption, when your first time having sex was rape.
God damn, what the fuck?
But Troy Ono dismissed those remarks as just a 16-year-old kid saying stupid crap to his friends. He then denied a waiver to try GMC as an adult, citing the boy's pedigree and potential.
Oh my god. Fuck this guy. Fuck this judge and fuck that kid. And why would you send me that, Pincolo? Jesus fuck. Did Gunfox send you that? Oh, fuck. Grr. That's ridiculous. Kids today, yeah. No kidding. No kidding. Oh, look, there's a quote.
This young man comes from a good family who put him into an excellent school where he was doing extremely well, Troy Ono said in his July 2018 decision. He is clearly a candidate for not just college but probably for a good college. His scores for college entry were very high.
Who cares? He raped somebody.
Dimmed vertical scroll. In addition to expressing doubt about whether the boy showed any calculation or cruelty on his part or sophistication or a predatory nature, Troiano also suggested the girl's allegation did not meet the standard of rape.
Uh-huh.
There have been some, not many, but some cases of sexual assault involving juveniles which in my mind absolutely were the traditional case of rape, the judge said, according to Link. BuzzFeed News, where there were generally two or more generally males involved, either at gunpoint or weapon, clearly manhandling a person into an area where there was nobody around, sometimes in an abandoned house, sometimes in an abandoned shed, shack, and just simply taking advantage of the person as well as beating the person, threatening the person.
Okay, you don't need a weapon to rape somebody, Judge. I didn't think it took a person from a different country with no law degree to tell you that.
An appeals court. Link. Overturned Troiano's ruling in June. A court spokesman said that Troiano would keep his pension, which would be around $124,000. The New York Times. Link. Reported. Period.
Wow,
You
he
are
gets to
currently on
keep
a
his
text
pension?
element inside of web
No,
content.
fuck that. No, fuck that story. I'm done. Okay, let's read the first titular article. If I did not send that one to him, Blind Press. If I had found it, I would have sent it to you on Discord. I bet you would. Hey, what did I have anything to do with it? Because you always send the angering ones. Let's see. Jeffrey Epstein is denied bail in sex crimes case. Oh. Let's see. Here we go.
A federal judge on Thursday denied bail for Jeffrey Epstein, the financier facing sex trafficking charges in Manhattan, rejecting his request to await trial under home detention at his Upper East Side mansion.
Good.
The judge, Richard M. Berman of Federal District Court, said Mr. Epstein's past sexual conduct is not likely to have abated, and he was concerned that if Mr. Epstein were released, he would continue to abuse teenage girls.
Probably will.
Mr. Epstein's alleged excessive attraction to sexual conduct with or in the presence of minor girls, which is said to include his soliciting and receiving massages from young girls and young women perhaps as many as 4 times a day, appears likely to be uncontrollable, Judge Berman wrote in a bail decision. The judge said he had taken into account the statements of 2 of Mr. Epstein's accusers, Annie Farmer and Courtney Wild, who he said had movingly testified in a hearing earlier in the week that they feared for their safety and the safety of others. Complimentary. End of cop sign up. But the best things to get in New York heading level 2. Complimentary. The judge said he end of
Sorry.
Advertisement. Third party. A federal indictment has charged that between 2002 and 2005, Mr. Epstein and his employees paid dozens of underage girls to engage in sex acts with him at his homes in Manhattan and Palm Beach, Florida. The indictment also accused Mr. Epstein of using some of his victims to recruit additional girls, paying his victim recruiters hundreds of dollars for each girl they brought to him.
Oh, that's just sick.
Unlock more free articles.
No.
Account or log it. Ever since he's your link. July 6 arrest at Teterboro Airport. In New Jersey after a flight from Paris, Mr. Epstein, 66, has been detained at the highly secure Metropolitan Correctional Center. His lawyers had proposed allowing him to post a substantial bond and remain in his mansion guarded by 24-hour security guards, at his expense.
At his expense. So his guards that he could fucking... Yeah, okay.
Prosecutors vigorously opposed the proposal, saying Mr. Epstein was seeking special treatment and trying to build his own private jail, a gilded cage. You were currently in a court hearing earlier Thursday. Judge Berman announced he was denying Mr. Epstein's request, saying his proposed bail package was irretrievably inadequate.
Yep.
You are currently on a text complimentary. Heading level 2. Link. Third party end of comp advertisement.
Is that the end of that? Oh, no.
I doubt that any bail package can overcome danger to the community, the judge said in court. In his written opinion, the judge noted, the crimes Mr. Epstein has been charged with are among the most heinous in the law, principally, in the court's view, because they involve minor girls.
Yep.
One of Mr. Epstein's lawyers, Mark Furnich, said of the judge's ruling, we expect to appeal and look forward to fighting the case.
You look for that is just a weird weird way to put that. We look forward to fighting the case. Okay. You weirdo.
Jeffrey Epstein. Credit.
So now that's the end of the article. Let's there was another story that I wanted to read. Oh, here's another one. Woman violently pushes anti-gay priest off of stage in front of 50,000 praying Catholics. All right then. Let's read about that.
An anti-gay Brazilian priest who is celebrated in the country for his lively sermons was violently pushed from a stage on Sunday while delivering Mass in Cachoeira Paulista, São Paulo. Shortly before 3 p.m., a woman was able to rush past security and push Father Marcelo Rossi off the stage during a ceremony at the headquarters of Canção Nova.
Okay, I understand why you may want to do that, but don't do that. That doesn't further your cause.
Video footage showed Rossi toppling from the stage as onlookers watched on in horror. The woman appears to be smiling after his fall.
You could have, depending on how high the stage was, you could have killed him, you freak.
A swift and Rossi was delivering an address during the closing ceremony of a youth camp which had an estimated 50,000 attendees. The Catholic priest was not seriously injured and was able to return to the stage to complete his sermon, which was being streamed online.
Well, at least he wasn't hurt, but I mean, I'm not agreeing with anti-gay priests, and I think like stuff like conversion camps is absolutely terrible. But you don't need to freaking push people off of stages to make your point. That's not how you do that. Put him in a cell with a 7 foot, 300-pound guy named Tiny. He can teach him a few things.
Fitvizir, the unidentified woman was detained by the local police. Brazilian news. Link. Portal G1.
So that's the end of that story. Let's see. I think I have. What's this one? Hey, come on. Make with the article. Aw. Those two links aren't working. Well, that's annoying. Boo. Yeah, it's those three links aren't working. That's annoying. Wow. Let's see. Because there were three more stories that I wanted to read, but I can't freaking read them because it won't open. That's annoying as hell. Let's see. Well, let's ow. Ow. my My back is cracking but it's not helping. That's not good. Um wow, and the microphone picked that up. Holy shit. Um okay then. Wow. I just heard that back through the watch page. It was just like holy shit. All right, guys, let's do some chat. Let's do some chat time and hang out with you guys. Um I'm just thinking of just doing some hanging out with you guys, seeing what you have to say. Maybe we'll do maybe about 10 minutes of that and we'll end off the stream. Let's see. Oh, and while we're doing that, Pinkala was watching something Tipster did about Low Tier God, who is a uh, gamer. Well, I wouldn't necessarily call him a gamer. He's a piece of crap gamer who I've actually watched videos of about him. He does like one or two moves over and over again. He plays fighting games. He plays Street Fighter, Dragon Ball, Soul Calibur, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, and I think he might play one more. Smash Brothers. That's it. Smash Brothers is the other one he plays. And what he does is he charges people $10 to play best of tens with him, and he'll get beat by them. He'll give them maybe I think the most I've seen him give is about 3 rounds, and if they beat him, uh, even if he wins one out of those 3 rounds, if they beat him, he will block them, and he will keep their $10. Pin broke view. Yeah, he did. He sure did, Gunfox. Um, so this guy, Lil Tier God, he actually played this guy called Broly Legs. He's in a wheelchair. He has little use of his arms and no use of his legs, and he plays video games with his mouth. And he kicked Low Tier God's ass. And Low Tier God spent this whole video just spent the like there's a video of him just he calls him, half a human, sorry piece of specimen, just calls him all sorts of fucking just brutal names cuz he got beat and he got blocked and banned from he blocked him and banned him from his party. And it's just freaking sad. If and why I'm bringing this up is Tipster was doing a thing about how he's now doing some copyright striking, I'm guessing, cuz I didn't see the whole video, but my theory is he's sick of all the compilations of him where he rage quits cuz there are tons of them. It's kind of sad. I'd play the video, but I don't want to get struck. And it sucks that you can't do that shit anymore. You want to play the video, you play the video and show people what you're talking about, but you have too many thin-skinned bitches who can't handle people talking about the stupid things that they've put out in the public sphere. It's really kind of depressing. Um, let's see here. So, Got another 2 minutes, guys. If you guys have anything you want to say or ask, that's feel free. We've got 8 days till my birthday, and I'm definitely going to be doing something for that. What did I just come back to? Oh, me talking about somebody named Low Tier God. Check your logic. He's a piece of crap YouTuber / Twitch streamer. Who plays fighting games and is bad at it. Yeah. And then when he gets all salty, he goes, "I'm just a troll. Why can't you guys deal with it? You guys get all butthurt about a troll." Like, no, dude. You're not trolling. He is a sad, sad little man, says Seamus. Yes, he is. I turned 30, Milkman Dan. I turned 30 in 8 days, and we're gonna have some fun. Yeah, it's gonna be lots of fun. I'll probably, like Gunfox said, I'll probably end up doing a catch-up news stream, and then I'll probably end up switching over to a game stream. And then because we're not gonna have the kids, so it's basically gonna be stream and then hang out with Pink Hollow. 30, OMG, you're ancient, says Milkman Dan. Or says Goatman. Cool, welcome to the Dirty 30s, says Milkman Dan. Thanks, dude. And then another year older, but none the wiser. Maybe. Let's see. All right, guys, we've hit the 1 hour and 20 mark. I am going to stop the stream, and hitting 30 sucks. Your body will hurt 10% more. Oh, Jesus Christ, don't tell me that. I'm already in pain every day. Jesus. I don't need to hear that shit. I'll put a curse on you. Oh no. You will have triplets. Well, that would be hard since Pincalo's been fixed. 7 days till mine. Oh, cool. Just remember until you reach somewhere around 32, you haven't lived for a billion seconds yet. Huh. Well, guys, I'm going to end off the stream here, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I sure did. I hope you guys will come back tomorrow for the Star Trek stream at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central, where we will be talking about the Season 4, Episodes 1 and 2 of Enterprise called Stormfront. It's a time travel episode, so that should be interesting. And it'll be me, Skep Talk, and Irate Prostate. And also, don't forget to join us on Sunday for the Blind and the Special. Pink Hollow and I will be back to have some fun. Maybe Chris Morgan will show up again. I don't know. Who knows? I hope everyone has a great rest of their Friday. Stay safe out there. For the drivers in my chat, drive safe. Have an awesome Friday, guys, and we'll catch you tomorrow for Star Trek. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.